remember that strange period between the 8th and 9th generation of consoles where it seemed like the only games being released were remasters. It felt like developers weren't taking enough risk in creating new experiences, and those that did weren't taking the necessary steps to truly ensure their success. To avoid scrutiny and keep shareholders happy, you get another version of Skyrim. Despite this, Hangar 13 managed to cut through the stagnation with their release of Mafia Definitive Edition. Throughout its short campaign, which is no more than 15 hours in length, Mafia Definitive Edition surpasses the 2002 original Mafia in almost every way. From his humble beginnings as an immigrant taxi driver, the protagonist Tommy Angelo finds himself thrust into a life of crime within the Salieri family, after witnessing a job gone wrong. The game's missions are structured around Tommy recounting his involvement with the family to Detective Norman, a cop with a fake Irish accent so bad it should constitute a hate crime.
Wait.
Well, a few years back, the Vice Squad got a judge on solicitation of a minor. Once in the box, he started confessing all sorts of misbehaving, trying to get a deal. But he copped to taking kickbacks from Rollo and your man Salieri.
Knowing that this game won't give you a happy ending, and that it's only a matter of time before things start to go south, is a sentiment that slowly crept back into my thoughts as the story progressed, especially after certain events that leave both you and Tommy questioning just why and how you ended up where you are.
Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, Christ. Hey! Stop!
When it comes to trusting people around you, the constant paranoia over wondering if you might one day have to put two between the eyes of a side character you love is a feeling that perfectly encapsulates that of a man who's gotten way in over his head. Compared to its 2002 original, the graphics have been completely overhauled. The updated Illusion engine makes exploring the fictional yet period-accurate city of Lost Heaven a pleasure. Weather effects, lighting, and reflections stood out to me in particular, as neon signs pop out against the contrast of the night sky, and their colours shift as you move around them. Chinatown and Little Italy have been rebuilt with more defining iconography, helping them stand out on a somewhat linear map. Despite all my praises, there were some instances where shortcomings really ruined my immersion. Many of the NPCs look like they haven't loaded in properly, and their dialogue cuts off at random times.
Disagree.
There's an added noir mode which puts a black and white overlay over the screen as a means to pay homage to black and white television. This is a pretty useless feature. I think it would be better served as a cutscene mode where they slap on a bit of film grain to really sell the aesthetic. A lot of work was put into making the Prohibition era period feel authentic. Lost Heaven closely resembles Chicago during that era, and even small things like billboards, collectible magazines, and radio bulletins help set a convincing historical backdrop, which I really appreciate. When it came to cutscenes, there was a strange shift about 5 hours into the game where it seemed like they received a massive boost in quality. All cutscenes were motion captured and fully voiced, but this transition from slightly uncanny to wow, this could be a movie is a bit jarring.
How you doing, kid? Dino, Lou. You got business with the Don?
What have you done? Murder in the house of God!
These men were criminals, Father. Thieves. Rapists. Killers.
And God would have embraced them if they'd asked for forgiveness. Now, which one of these men might have sought redemption by working with the poor? Which one might have saved just one life?
While all the English voice acting was recast, and personally I preferred the new cast.
That's it. I'll get you back in the car. Everything will be okay.
Don't move, scumbag, or I'll fill you with holes.
A weird tidbit I found while playing is that a lot of the original cast returned for the Czech version, which was a big deal for those guys. I understand that many people playing this version of the game might not have played the old one, so this is the last comparison I'm going to make. Mafia as a game consists of two things, shooting and driving, and wow, both of these have been greatly improved upon. The enemy AI is some of the best I've seen in a game, period. Fights feel super fluid and enemies dive behind cover when you try to light them up. Everything just feels real. The driving mechanics in this game are a true labour of love. You can select in the menu how difficult you want your driving to be and if you want to play an automatic or manual transmission. Personally, I found the automatic transmission to be somewhere in the realm of the piss-easy GTA 5 driving and that from a proper racing game. It was pretty fluid. Unfortunately, the game doesn't have steering wheel support, which is disappointing considering the original Mafia did. Regardless, there are plentiful amounts of cars for Tommy to drive, and for the first time in the Mafia series, motorcycles make their debut. I don't really know what to title this segment, but I'm going to go off on a little bit of a rant as to how much I love Tommy, Sam and Paulie as characters. I think it's a pretty common desire amongst all people that we often wish to play an active part in something bigger than ourselves. Not in a I'm a cashier for a multi-billion-dollar industry way, but in a I'm not the boss, but I'm an essential part of something where I'm guaranteed to see the fruits of my labour way. Wait, did I just describe fair employment? Regardless, Tommy Angelo is that personified. Aside from having a knack for cars and a good shot, he's a relatively blank canvas and a character we can really just insert ourselves into. Sam and Paulie are great too. They're the boys. And throughout the story, you can really see them begin to take Tommy under their wing. Every bit of dialogue they have is meaningful and well placed. None of that Borderlands 2 bullshit here.
Go get him, Tommy! Come on, let's get back to the car. We gotta catch up before that idiot gets himself killed.
Mafia Definitive Edition is a remake done right, building upon the foundations of an already great game, yet innovating upon every aspect of what made it great. At 4 years old, it can be bought quite cheaply if you catch it on a good Steam sale, and it's a great little game to knock out over the course of a weekend. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want me to review next, or what I missed on this review. Do you like Mafia? Did you pick it up in the last Steam sale? Will you pick it up in the next Steam sale? Let me know. I think it's great. I think you should play it. With that all being said, goodbye.